Welcome to Meal and Heal. I'm Karin. Today we're going to be looking energetically at how to make better decisions. Now, we all have to make decisions every day in all kinds of things that we do, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what's important when you make a decision and how to make it easier for you to make good decisions. All right, so right off the bat, I want to get started and talk to you about the number one thing that I think is important in making good decisions. And that is that your decision is made in alignment with you and your spiritual goals this lifetime. That's the most important thing. Now, that could encompass making good decisions that involve other people. For instance, if one of your spiritual goals this lifetime is to take care of your family and a decision comes up that you have to make involving your family, you can still make that decision and be in alignment with you and your spiritual goals this lifetime and include your family and their well-being in your decision-making process. And what I'm talking about when I say being in alignment on your spiritual path and so that whatever decision you make works with you, not against you. Now, a lot of people have an easy time making decisions, but this session for anybody that's watching who is energetically sensitive will help you start to understand why decision making can be difficult for you, why it can be uncomfortable, and for some people, even painful to make a decision. Well, in order to take a look at all of that, we want to look at the energy of decision making. Some of the things that I like to think about that are really important for making a decision, I've already told you the first thing is making sure it's in alignment with you. And then the next thing is to be able to have clarity in your decision making. And that means being able to see all of your options available to you. Well, clarity can be difficult for some people who are sensitive to energy because when they go to try to make a decision, what they may experience is that in their decision that they have to make, there's a lot of other foreign energy in that decision that you have to be thinking about. And when I'm talking about foreign energy, I'm talking about all kinds of things, other people's opinions of what they think the decision you should make should be, and other people's judgments. So that's different than an opinion. There's a judgment, let's say, on how you go about making your decision, the time it takes you to make a decision, what your decision actually winds up being. And again, for those of you that are sensitive to energy, you may be very aware of other people's attention waiting for you to make the decision. So we want to be able to clear that foreign energy out of your decision-making process so that when it comes to really looking at all of your options and being able to see your options, they can be right in front of you so that you have your information available to you. The other part of making a good decision is being able to focus so that you can examine all of your options. Now, focus gets difficult if you have foreign energy in your decision-making process that would like to sidetrack you or steer you off in another direction. And that could be other people who might stand something to lose by a decision that you make. And that's another foreign energy that can get into your decision-making process. And then the third thing that's important is being able to have confidence when you make your decision. I know this is a big thing for a lot of people who don't really know how to find their confidence when making a decision. And I'll tell you this, what I've learned is that that confidence comes from being able to clear all the other energies out of your decision-making process so that what you have before you are the facts and your own spiritual information on decision-making. And this includes your ability to hear yourself. That's called your inner voice. And that would be part of your ability in this area right here, you have a spinning energy center called your fifth chakra or your throat chakra, and you have your spiritual information on your inner voice. So that would be your go-to place when you want that real gut answer that you're looking for. And there's also your ability to access your own information. So that is utilizing one of your other spinning energy centers that's located right up here on top of your head, and it's called your crown chakra. And then your ability to see what is involved in the decision-making process, to see the truth. And this comes from another spinning energy center called your sixth chakra, also known as your third eye, and that is right in the center of your head, behind your forehead here. So you have all these wonderful spinning energy centers that house great information to help you make great decisions. But in order for those to be working accurately for you, they need to be cleared out in case there are other people's energy sitting in those spaces, and in case there's any kind of foreign energy, and especially in case that you have any emotional pain that is still sitting in past decisions that you've made that maybe didn't come out so great. And if you haven't cleared that energy of what you might consider to be failure or a judgment against yourself for having made a bad decision, it's going to be pretty hard to find your confidence and certainty when you go to make new decisions. So we're going to do a really great simple clean out today to clear that space up. And you're going to be able to use this energy exercise that I have planned for you today for any decision that you want to make. So I want you to start thinking right now of something going on in your life that you would like to make a decision on. And perhaps it's something that you've been having a little bit of difficulty making that decision. It could be something that you've been stewing over for months, even years, or it could be something that's just come up recently. But I want you to start thinking about it because you're going to be using that for yourself today in order to find some answers and perhaps be able to make a better decision by the end of this session today. All right. Well, to start with, everything begins with energy. I like to tell everybody that no matter what it is, it's made up of energy. And even Einstein said that if it's not mass, it's matter. So there is energy involved in everything. Now, I, being a clairvoyant, like to look at the energy of things because that's how I find where the truth lies in a lot of situations for myself. So I wanted to teach you today a very simple technique so that you can start to find your truth, which will lead you to the best decision you can make to keep you in alignment on your spiritual path. Before we start, I want to remind you that oftentimes people get jammed up trying to make a decision because they get stuck in a thought that they have to make the right decision. And you might have to wait a really, really, really long time if you set yourself up for making the right decision. I like to peel that back and look at how it's just making a decision. There are just decisions to be made. And as time goes on, you might find that one decision has been better than the other. And I also think that as time goes on, if you learn how to use some energy techniques, you'll learn that you can make better decisions and you'll be a lot happier with your results when you clear the energy first so that you can be looking at your own information and make decisions based off of your own information. Those are always going to be the best answers you get. Okay, so how can we create clarity, focus, and confidence in our decision-making process? Well, the best way that I know of is to be able to access our spinning energy centers that house all of that amazing information on how to make a decision, how to listen to our inner voice, how to capture our highest and best information off the top of our head using this crown chakra. and then also how to hear what some good answers will be. In order to do this, what we're going to do today is to go back to the issue that I had you start thinking about, whatever that decision is that you want to make, might have been having trouble making. We're going to take the energy back to its origins, so that we're going to peel away everybody else's energy and thoughts, opinions, judgments, so that you can look just at the straight issue of what is the decision that needs to be made, and then based on your information and the truth as you see it, what is the best choice that you can make in present time, given all the information that you have available to you. Now, I would like to say at this point that I, like everybody else, have made some really great decisions, and I've also made some really lousy decisions. In hindsight, the one thing that's in common with all of my really poor decisions is that at the time that I made them, I wasn't able to see my truth and what was going to be in alignment for me and my spiritual path. And the reason I wasn't able to is because foreign energy was in there. And I think a lot of you, in hindsight, when you look at poor decisions that you've made, the process of looking for the right decision has been clouded. So you may feel bad about having not made what could have been the best decision, but you have to cut yourself some slack, because if you didn't know really about energy or have information on how you can shift energy before you made that decision, you can't be judging yourself for the best job that you did at that time based on all of the data you had available to you. Today, we're going to do a really simple technique, and I'm going to get right to it so that you can learn the process of clearing energy so that you have a much better opportunity to evaluate what your choices are and make the best ones for yourself. I've picked a few very specific energies for today and today's technique so that you can rewatch this and repeat this energy technique for making any kind of decision that you would like to make. I also am happy to send you the written version of this today in a PDF form so that you can review it, so that when you're in your own private meditation space, you can review it and you can look at the certain items that I have for you to go ahead and clear out before you get down to making a decision. And I'll have my email address at the end of this show today so that you can go ahead and email me to get that information. All right, let's go ahead and start our exercise. This exercise is based on a guided meditation, and it's really simple. I'm just going to have you close your eyes while you're sitting in your chair. Try to make sure that your feet are flat on the ground, hips distance apart, and that you're not slouching in your chair. Sometimes I might seem like a stickler for posture, but there's a reason for having good posture, and it has to do with energy flow in your body. So when we make decisions, we want to have everything available to us, including our energy running well in our spiritual body as well as our physical body. All right, close your eyes and start to bring your focus of attention to a place called the center of your head, which is inside your head, behind your eyes. And this has to do with one of your spinning energy centers, your sixth chakra. And that chakra holds your information on neutrality as well as your information on clairvoyance, and that's your ability to see energy. During this exercise, you don't have to see anything. You can do this whole exercise by sensing energy. But the more you try to keep your awareness and focus right up there in the center of your head, the easier it's going to be for you to see colors, perhaps images, and that kind of information can help you find your certainty when making a decision. Now, the first thing that we're going to do with your eyes closed is it's very important that you connect yourself to the planet. We want that grounding cord on you so that you are anchored to the planet and you have a means to release energy. Now, if any of you have not listened to my Let's Ground audio yet, you can find that on my website at unleashyourultimatepotential.com. And I can walk you through a real simplified version of that right now. You're going to find the base of your spine while you're still keeping your focus in the center of your head. And at the base of your spine, you're going to imagine drawing a straight line of energy that connects the base of your spine way deep, deep down into the planet Earth, all the way to the center of the planet Earth. And as you draw that line, you can also draw or imagine a means for that line to anchor into the center of the planet. Go ahead and do that now. The minute that grounding cord is anchored into the center of the planet, gravity automatically starts working with you. It makes this exercise go very easily. Now, you do want to make sure that the beginning point of the line of energy that you created at the base of your spine is securely attached. That point represents one of your spinning energy centers called your first chakra, also known as your root chakra, and we want to have that grounded. This helps you as an energetic body ground through your physical body and keep both your spiritual and physical body attached to the planet so that you have solidity and so that gravity can work with you to help release foreign energies that you may be finding as we start this exercise. All right, good job. You're grounded and ready to go now. And we're going to be using a symbol for our energy work today in the form of a clear soap bubble. So you can imagine out in front of you in your mind's eye that you have your own private movie screen. You can imagine this as a big white board in front of you with your eyes closed. And using this symbol of a clear soap bubble, I want you to imagine creating a clear soap bubble out on your screen and immediately draw a grounding cord under that clear soap bubble so that the soap bubble is also grounded all the way to the center of the planet. Good. We're going to be putting energy in this soap bubble. Right now, what I'd like you to do is to imagine that the energy of this decision that you have to make is going into the bubble. And when I say the decision you have to make, earlier I was saying, think of something that you need to make a decision on. Now I want you to let the energy of everything that's involved in that decision going into the bubble. And this could wind up being your information, other people's information, emotions, your mental thoughts. It could even involve physical pain. And you're going to let all of that energy go into this bubble with a grounding cord on it. And with your eyes closed, see if you can get a sense of or actually see what kind of colors are rolling around in that bubble right now. And some of you might find or feel that the energy isn't moving at all. You may experience that it's stuck completely. And if you do, this would explain why making decisions for you may be difficult and possibly painful. This means that you have an awful lot of foreign energy stuck in your decision-making process that makes it hard for you to get to your own information. And this is why we have the grounding cord on the bubble. So immediately as you look at the bubble or you get a sense of the bubble, any of the energy that you start to see or experience going into that bubble that is not of a vibration that you can tell belongs in there. For instance, let's say you're looking at this bubble and there's a lot of dark gray energy. That energy is not going to be part of the information that you're looking for to make the decision. That information is going to have a higher energy vibration. So you can go ahead and neutrally acknowledge that dark gray energy or blacks or even white energies, colors that really don't look like they belong in your decision-making process, and you can ground them out, telling those energies to release down the grounding cord on the bubble. So take a moment, grounding that bubble, letting gravity pull whatever foreign energy you can already sense in that bubble. Let it pull it right down to the center of the planet where that foreign energy can get recycled. Go ahead and do that now. Now, somewhere in that bubble is your information on the truth and what's going to be the best decision for you that will keep you in alignment on your spiritual path. And that's going to be a very high, bright energy vibration. So as you ground this bubble and you clear out foreign energy, also be looking for and sensing what is the highest energy in this bubble. That's what we're looking for, the highest and brightest energy. Okay, I'm going to call out certain energy vibrations now for you to release out of your decision-making process. So whatever this decision is that you have to make, forget about making the decision right now. Put that out of your mind. That's not what's important. What's important for us right now is to give you the best possible scenario to make that decision. And in order to do that, we want to get the energy back to the original information for that decision. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 different energy vibrations for you to clear out. And the first one is responsibility. When I say the word responsibility, look in that bubble and see if any colors get illuminated for you, or notice if you can get a sense that there's energy that represents responsibility. Or you can just use your awareness and tell yourself you are releasing responsibility out of that bubble. Now, the reason I have you working on responsibility energy right now is because what I've noticed with people over the years working with them professionally is that a huge percentage of what they deem to be problems in decision making or problems that they feel responsible for really are not their responsibility. So what I want you to do is look for other people that may be trying to get you to be responsible for this decision that you have to make. And it's important to clear them and that responsibility energy out so that you can make a good decision, not based on feeling obligated to be responsible. Very important to learn what kinds of things you are actually in fact responsible for in your lifetime and what you are not. One of the things that very sensitive people happen to have, I see this dynamic a lot with sensitive people, healers, is that they may feel obligated a lot of time to be responsible for others. And this is part of the healing dynamic that goes on in many people's places where they have been conditioned to heal, heal, heal. And one of the things that they may also be conditioned to do is be responsible for other people and taking care of them and healing them. So look for the energy of responsibility and see if you can't ground that out of the bubble. Okay, good. The next energy to look for in the bubble and to acknowledge and send down the grounding cord is the energy of judgments and opinions. Now, this can go both ways. This could be other people's judgments of you and their opinions of you based on their history with you. It could be based on what they know of you when you were a child. Maybe they've never updated their image of you. So judgments and opinions of you and your ability to make decisions may very well be based on old, outdated information. And yet it still may be sitting in your decision-making process. So acknowledge any colors or energy that you suspect to be the energy of judgment and opinions. And while you're clearing that, don't forget to release the energy of judgment you may hold against yourself, perhaps for bad decisions you've made before that you've never forgiven yourself for. Maybe you have developed an opinion of yourself as being somebody who is poor at making decisions based on other people's judgment of you. So you want to go ahead and clear all of that out, whether it is coming from other people or whether you have been conditioned over time to believe that you do not make good decisions. Clear all of that out. Let that energy go down the grounding cord on the bubble. Next, go ahead and clear out the energy of competition. And this would be other people's competition of wanting to have you make a decision based on what they want, not what is right for you. And then the fourth energy is the energy of problems. I was talking about problems earlier. Well, problems actually have their own energy vibration, and you'll be able to see it or sense it as a color vibration. You might be able to hear the energy of problems clairaudiently so that you're actually listening to the energy of it. Wherever you might find the vibration of problems in your bubble for this decision you have to make, go ahead and clear it out. Just send it right down that grounding cord and let gravity pull it out. Okay, we're on to our fifth and final energy vibration. I'm going to have you clear out of your bubble, and that is the pressure of being right as opposed to just being able to make a decision. And so I would call this energy expectation. Look and see how much expectation there may be in your bubble for you to make the right decision. And I believe it's important to clear this out to give you permission to just make a decision. And as you're clearing out all of that expectation, you might also want to toss a little perfection out of there too if you find the energy of perfection in there. I think that expectation oftentimes comes in hand with the energy of perfection. So if you do sense or see or hear the energy of perfection, you can release that too. Oh, so I slipped another energy in there for you. So that's 6 energy vibrations we're clearing out. All right. Now you've cleared a lot of energy. You should be able to sense or feel more movement in your bubble. There's definitely going to be a shift going on in the energy of your decision making process, because even if you released a little bit of foreign energy, that space or that pocket of space that you just created in your decision making bubble allows you to bring your own information in. And this could be your own information on listening to your inner voice, being able to access your highest information off the top of your head. It could be whatever kind of decision-making information you want to bring in. So we're going to go ahead and create a new symbol above the bubble so that you can get your information into your decisions. And using the image of a great big gold sun, create that image above the bubble that you're using for your decision. And let that gold sun fill with lots of bright, warm energy. And when you see that that sun is filled with energy, go ahead and bring it right in through the top of the bubble and let it fill up every single space within that bubble so that the bubble takes on all of that gold energy. And that's really your information coming into that space that you created to make a decision. Go ahead and do that now. All right, good job. Well, this has been a very simple, quick, and easy way for you to clear the energy so that you can have an easier time to make a better decision. Now, you can go ahead and pop that bubble. Go ahead, let all of that energy disperse. And the next time you have a few minutes to sit down and take a look at this decision that you want to make, you could also do it in the same manner by putting the energy back in the bubble, grounding the bubble, and asking the bubble, what's the best decision for me right now in present time? And see if you can sense what the answer is, hear the answer, look at what you see in the bubble, or any other way that you get energetic information for yourself that will help you make better decisions. I hope you enjoyed this technique today. It's very simple, and as I was saying earlier, you can email me if you would like to have the written notes on this so that you can follow along and remind yourself of what's important. You can also rewatch this video anytime you want to make a decision. It will be posted on my YouTube channel and available to view anytime you want. I want to show you my offers that I have for this month. And the other one is a 30-minute relationship healing. And those are quite thorough. I cover the 3 spaces that we talked about last week in our relationship series. Those 3 spaces are communication, affinity, and present time. Staying in present time within your relationship. And you can contact me at karinfogerty@gmail.com if you're interested in any of those specials. You can also email me at karinfogerty@gmail.com to get the transcripts from today's session. And when you do email me, please remember that my name is spelled with an I. So it's Karin at Fogerty@gmail.com. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this session on learning how to make better decisions. And I look forward to seeing you again next week on Meal and Heal at Thursday mornings from 12:15 to 12:45. Thank you for joining me.